Across the U.S., the interest in bicycling is skyrocketing. From 2000 to 2011, the number of Americans who bike to work grew by nearly 50%. Hundreds of communities are working to create a more bicycle-friendly America, providing more bike trails, encouragement programs, and events. Fort Wayne is one such community with a big event this month for bike riders of all kinds. The second annual Fort4Fitness Spring Cycle rolls out on Saturday, May 25th with several daytime bike tours that lead up to a twilight criterium. And on this week's Primetime 39, we'll celebrate May as National Bike Month and find out more about this year's Spring Cycle event in downtown Fort Wayne. And helping us do that are our guests, John Baumberger, attorney with Faegre Baker Daniels and a member of the Fort4Fitness Board of Directors, and Tim Hall, who's the owner of Fort Wayne Outfitters and Bike Depot. And we welcome you both to the show. John here, Tim there. And also, we'd like to invite you to call. You see the number on the screen if there are any questions about the big event on Memorial Day Saturday, or if you have questions about how to get the dust off that bicycle and to have the tires aligned and to really get into the true swing of cycling for the spring, give us a call. We'll try to help you out. And I thought it was very encouraging at the top of the show to find out that of all people, the author and playwright H.G. Wells had one time said that every time I see an adult on a bicycle, I no longer despair for the future of the human race.
Absolutely.
It seems to me there was lots of up for him to be happy about a year ago or so when the inaugural Spring Cycle came along. John, set the stage for us from that time to this time.
Well, Fort4Fitness is a nonprofit organization. We're dedicated to improving health, fitness, wellness in Fort Wayne and Allen County. And we already do a fall half marathon 10K race. And we last year inaugurated the Spring Cycle, which is a health and fitness event that's focused upon the bicycle. We talked about how popular bicycling has become. We now have our second annual Spring Cycle event, which is a bicycle tour in the morning, followed by a nighttime or twilight criterium that occurs in the afternoon and early evening.
The first year the event takes off and there are upwards of 1,000 folks involved, that had to make you feel good. It would probably make me feel a tad anxious too, that everyone starts and ends together.
It was just a fabulous scene to see on that Saturday morning a year ago, seeing over 1,000 bikes laid out over the starting line, and then watching all of those folks go out and have an adventure. To go through the tour, and it was very, very exciting, and people really loved the experience.
And Tim, you're nodding as well. I mean, this must have been tremendously affirming too when you're doing all the planning and then you see the execution of it like that.
Absolutely, it was just thrilling seeing all the bikes lined up like I've never seen in Fort Wayne. I mean, there's several bike events that go around, but for the first year to have that many and to be lined up downtown and going out into the countryside, it was beautiful.
Yeah, you can't beat word of mouth. There's all different kinds of marketing that goes on. Is there some kind of truly grassroots connection between community and community on wheels, like at an event like this?
There is. I mean, just from kids on up to adults, and it's just taken off. It's growing like wildfire.
I understand it's like in the top 2 to 3 activities that Americans now continue to enjoy, and I kind of wonder too if this isn't something where, thankfully, something analog still survives in a more digital age. I can become as untethered as I want to be, and just take off and be alone with my thoughts at a speed of my choosing.
Well, the neat thing about cycling is that it can be shared throughout the family, and we've designed the Spring Cycle to be family friendly. So we'll have a longer ride for folks who are, into something a little bit more challenging, and then we have shorter rides, and then we even have a family fun kids ride that runs on streets downtown. that are closed to traffic, and allow a family with maybe mom or dad to take a tour, and then one of them to stay back with the kids and do the smaller route as well.
Here's some basics up on the screen. Here are some basics about this year's event, and walk us through this. There's a slight difference in this year. You have all of the tours that are taking off from a common time. Is that right?
That's correct. We have the event is really centered on One Summit Square. So we'll have all the cyclists gathered there, and registration will start at 7 a.m. Everybody will line up at 9 a.m. and we'll get started with that starting point, and then everybody will take off. It'll be a beautiful sight, and of course we'll have wonderful weather, and then everybody will come back downtown, and we'll have food, water, refreshments, and entertainment for everyone to sort of cool down from their ride. And then starting at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll have the criterium races begin, and they'll carry on into the evening.
We did see, and let's bring up, we have a couple of examples of the courses involved, and the wonderful thing about, I would imagine, cycling in Fort Wayne is the terrain can work with you if you haven't been working your bike for very long, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah, and it's really, and the course is flat, but it's in having the enclosed course for the family fun ride. I mean, it's going to be it's all the tools are there. It should be a good, safe event.
And this one sort of looks like it's a summary of all of the courses. Each one sort of building on the other, like an extension ladder. If I want to, I can reach a certain point and say, do I want to go on or do I want to hang a left?
Well, I think we've designed the courses so that there's a short, a medium, and a long, and they intersect at each point in the extension, so that, for example, if several people are going out and one wants to go longer, the others can wait back and meet up with them on the way back. And so it really covers all points on the spectrum in terms of what kinds of things people would like to do.
And if you were looking at that from across the room, you could see that you were sort of heading east out of town.
That is correct.
You're following where exactly? Where all will I end up be going?
Well, you're going out east of Fort Wayne, and you're going out into the East Allen County countryside, and then making a loop, and then coming back into downtown Fort Wayne.
And again, those courses, it's 18 or 33 or 43.
That's correct.
And again, we're going to be able to get an up-close personal look at one of the bikes that you may not have, but you may have a bike that you think someday could grow up to be like the one we'll show you later. But Tim, I imagine that if your bike has gears to help the cause, sometimes why not use them, right?
Yes, definitely. And you might, if there's elements like the wind that you may need. It's good to have gear so you can change your cadence to be able to power through the wind. There will be some hills, but it's a fairly flat course. But anyhow, it's good to have good running equipment.
One of the things that we add to the tour is that we do have, from Three Rivers Velosport Club, we have bike ambassadors that go out with the tour, and they are there to help answer questions for people who are newcomers, and help people get through. Last year we found that about 40% of the people who participated were actually going on their first organized bike ride. And so we're providing lots of assistance and help. There are 2 water rest stations on the course, and both of those are available and make for a good social time as well.
We have some shots as if we were just kind of enjoying a great vacation. And this is one of the great upsides of a staycation in Fort Wayne. Tell us a little bit about what we're looking at, John, and Tim, both. John?
Well, right here we're showing the sort of the family ride by the courthouse downtown. You can see people having a lot of fun, enjoying the, there's by the library, people having fun riding, and there's a family, a full family riding. So
all of those kinds of things are in play before people look. I'm not seeing anybody looking like they have to concentrate very hard or squint, Tim. I mean, this looks like a lot of this is coming easy for them. This is what a whole bunch of people all geared up, so to speak, looks like, right?
Yes. Well, that was what you saw there was just more casual riding, but later on in the day, and I don't know if we have any pictures, but there are the criterium. Here you go, is a picture of the criterium where cyclists are going around corners very fast. They'll be going anywhere from 18 to 28 mile an hour, again on a closed course, racing one another.
It's a term that, in truth, I had not heard of till the inaugural event. I suppose if you're in the zone and planning for these things, it comes more naturally in complete sentences. What is a criterium exactly? The
best way to describe a criterium is well, it's NASCAR on two wheels, basically. So it's exciting. It's close racing, and it's drafting and passing, cornering. It's usually, like I said, on a closed course, so doing laps. The nice thing about it is that it's very spectator friendly, because these are, in this particular course, is 3 city blocks. It's a 6-turn L-shaped course, so there's going to be lots of good corners to watch the action.
It has sort of a Grand Prix feel to
Yes.
it, almost, too. It
Yeah.
looks like kind of a Detroit or Monaco kind of thing.
exactly,
Sure.
yes.
And spectator-friendly folks do want to, I mean, just as you would go to time trials at the 500, you don't know what fast is, I assume, till you truly do see it, right?
Yes, and you can feel the wind moving as they come by. I mean,
I had an opportunity to sit in the first turn, if you will,
Yeah.
of the racetrack last year, and you do feel the wind. It is quite an experience to see, especially the the Category 5 racers come through, and you do feel it.
Well, let's stay there for a second. Category 5. So within criterium racing, we have a different kind of structure.
Sure. In order to compete in a criterium, it's to be a USA sanctioned race. You have to be a licensed rider, and there's certain levels that you start actually at Category 5, and the pro elite level is Category 1. Mm-hmm. And so, because you don't want a Category 5 guy to be lined up with a Category 1 guy, so there's levels throughout the day, and then there's women's races, and we actually have a kids race too, and juniors. So many different categories, and that's why. So the criterium racing starts at 1 o'clock, and the last race starts at 8 o'clock. So there will be races going on all day.
And when you're done, we have like we have somebody they're going to take the trophy stands, if you will, first, second, third in this category, that category.
Yes, correct. And there is a podium. It's usually a 3-tier podium, and of course the winner in second and third.
Yeah. No charge to watch criterium.
None whatsoever.
Just grab that. Little cost to be involved in the tour, but there's also an upside, and a T-shirt, I think, is involved if I still get if I get in soon, right?
That's correct. Through our registration deadline, you can register at the Fort4Fitness website, www.fort4fitness.org.
Number 4.
Yes.
Okay.
And please do so. And each participant gets a backpack with a T-shirt and a water bottle, and also a lot of other interesting goodies, which I think everybody will enjoy.
We are talking today here with John Baumberger and with Tim Hall, and we're all about the Fort4Fitness Spring Cycle event. It's the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. You're welcome to join us with any questions about either the event itself or why my bicycle doesn't seem to want to cooperate with me, and we'll see if we can do some diagnosis over the air, or any questions in general about cycling, and what seems to be a sport, Tim, that really has, I haven't found a downside yet, save perhaps the inability for me to fix a flat the farthest away I am ever from my own garage.
Yeah.
Aerobic workout, heart improvement. Speak on some of those things.
Well, and yeah, the health aspect is tremendous, but also, you know, it can be commuting to work, or it can be just going to the store or going to your friend's house. But it's exercise, it's commuting, it's whatever you want to make of it.
Adults who bike to work have a better weight, blood pressure, insulin levels. Women who bike 30 minutes or more a day have a lower risk of breast cancer. Adolescents who bicycle are 48% less likely to be overweight as adults. For a state that fights obesity, you're exercising and having fun and not breaking so much of a sweat, and you're doing, again, lots of good in a very short period of time. And your sense, both of you, watching the evolution of the trail system in this region, a lot has happened in a relatively short number of years. John?
I think that's correct, Bruce. And also, just you know, the city of Fort Wayne last year was designated a bike-friendly city. We celebrate every May National Bike Month. If you go to the city's website and the bike page, you'll see a listing of all of the National Bike Month, or May, the month of May, all the activities that we have. It started this week with the inaugural Trek the Trails ride, which is the Trek the Trails ride is a ride that goes on every Tuesday night throughout the entire summer. You can get the schedule on the website, and then we end National Bike Month with the Spring Cycle, which is sort of the culmination of our celebration of the bike throughout the entire month of May in Fort Wayne.
And I noticed that Fort Wayne now can join nearly all of the top 50 cities in the country that celebrates with that Ride Your Bike to Work Day, and really calls that out. And the City of Fort Wayne site indeed has lots of that information too. You may have a bicycle that doesn't quite look like the one we're about to show you, but I'm going to ask Tim to walk over to a space here in the studio where his bike has been set up for us, because this is also something where, as criterium racing and other activities that go on with National Bike Month and the Spring Cycle, they're going to go by awfully quick. So, Tim, it might be good that we have a chance to see a bike that's sort of stop actioned right before you here. Talk about what's before you.
Yeah, to get a close-up here, this is what you're typically going to see on in the criterium racing, but you'll also see this on the tour version too. And basically, just it's a thinner wheel. This is a road bike. This particular one is made up of carbon, but they weigh anywhere from 13 pounds on up to 20, 22 pounds. This particular one has, well, it's 20 speeds, and it has pedals that you clamp into. That's something that some people do, but some people prefer not to. That scares them. But as you get into it, you'll see the real benefits of being clipped in. And as a racer, you'll want that, and I think it's even required.
What kind of material is the frame made from?
This frame's made out of carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber. And then the wheels themselves, they're thinner. They're thinner, but they also look thicker.
Yeah, these
from the
are
side.
Sure, Bruce. These are aero wheels, so the rim or the wheel itself is thicker, and that's to be more aerodynamic. And then the tire itself is very thin. Just to help with your aerodynamics and to help it to go faster, help you go faster, I guess.
How about the overall weight compared to the conventional bike that most of us would like to find eventually?
Yeah, this most bikes weigh in the 20s, maybe even in the lower 30s. But when you're talking a race bike, that gets pretty cumbersome, and weight does slow you down, especially if you're on a hilly course. So it's nice to have a lighter bike.
This one is around, you said, I think before we started, what, 13 pounds?
This one, yeah, 13 and some change, like 13.7 to be specific.
Now, I've always wanted to ask this question too, so I'll get all my silly questions out of the way, but how uncomfortable is that to sit on such a seat and you're leaning forward constantly? At the end of the day, do you just want to lay flat and have somebody do a 20-minute massage to pull you back in line again?
Well, more important than the comfortable seat or uncomfortable seat is the shorts, and you'll see if you're going to spend a long time in the saddle, so to speak, it's important to have good shorts, and then you can be on that seat for hours, and it's just one of those things you get used to over time.
But I imagine too the posture, the helmet, everything. Again, you're trying to get as aerodynamic on a bike as, say, anybody doing car design, race car design, is looking to try to get as much of those natural forces working with you.
Correct, and you're trying to get out of the wind by going, you're obviously, so the lower profile, more aggressive position would be forward leaning. When you're upright, you're catching all that wind, and so that's why you see.
And then on this criterium, you were sharing too that these bikes can kick it up to a pretty good speed.
Yeah. Anywhere from, a slower race would be 18-mile-an-hour average on up to, I've seen and been in races up the average 28 and been up to speeds a lot higher than that.
And we should throw in a compliment too that I'd like to have you share, because you told me, and maybe you can share with America, that Tim comes well credentialed not only for criterium racing but something called cyclocross.
Well, yes, Tim is an accomplished cyclocross competitor. Finished very high in his category at the World Championships that were held this winter in Louisville, Kentucky.
Correct. Yeah, we were fortunate enough to have the Cyclocross Worlds event be held in Louisville, here in the Midwest. And it was the first time it was ever out of Europe, so the first time in the States. And I decided kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I should train hard and try to go down there and see what I can do. And I participated in the Masters Worlds and ended up doing quite well, but just more importantly had a blast. And it's cyclocross, for those who don't know, it's a bike that looks like this, but it has knobbier tires because most of the riding you're doing is off-road.
Well, I have to believe that even as we may have that Walter Mitty moment of wanting to aspire to something that you've already enjoyed, we can get a view of that summit from the seat of my Schwinn or whatever the famous bike would be nearby, to make not only this the chance to take out the storms and put in the screens, but find the bike, pump up the tires, check the chains, do the once around John, and then get all bikes pointed toward One Summit Square.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right.
Why not review again for me some of the aspects then of Spring Cycle?
Well, it actually begins on Friday night. We have a bike movie at Cinema Center, where Cinema Center is running the Breaking Away movie for people who want to get in the mood for the ride in the morning, and that should be a lot of fun. And then we start, registration starts on May 25th, 7 a.m. in the morning, and you can pre-register by going to the website and signing up that way. And then we'll start the tour at 9 a.m. And then it will be in the afternoon at about 1. The criterium will start, and that will continue on till 8. One thing to keep in mind is that everyone who's riding a bike needs to wear a helmet for this event.
Okay.
And obviously we focus on safe riding and following the rules of the road. And each rider will get a very nice Spring Cycle map to help keep them on the course. And we also have the course very well signed. So.
And Tim, let me allow you to have 30 seconds on this one for those who are just on the cusp of saying, I think I could do that. get them the rest of the way. What's some good encouragement for somebody out there?
Just well, dust off your bike and get it tuned up and head out. The nice thing about this event is there's different. I mean, whatever you're comfortable with, we have a distance for you. So if you just you can stay downtown for the family fun ride, or you can take the shorter version of the tour and on up. So, but we've had finally got some sunshine. Take your bike out and train the next week or so. You don't have much time, and just do what you're comfortable with.
And John, the wonderful thing, again, you're not biking alone. Nobody bowls alone. Nobody's going
That's
bicycling
right.
alone.
We have lots of help out of the course. I think uniformly people really enjoy it. It's really a lot of fun.
Fort4Fitness.org will be your place to find all of that. Remember, when people ride bikes, great things happen. Lots of things happening downtown Fort Wayne on Saturday, May 25th. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of the show tonight. John Baumberger and Tim Hall. I'm Bruce Haynes. For all of us with Primetime 39, thank you for allowing us to be a part of your day. A reminder, next week we'll be having Ricky Kemery here with us to talk about spring gardening, lawn care, all of those grass and garden questions. Join us live next Friday night right here on PBS 39. Have a good weekend, everyone. Take care.